Hello everybody and welcome back to another quick Dwarf Fortress tutorial. In this video we're going to be talking about plant cloth and making plant cloth. So there's many different types of plant cloth that you can make in the game. You can use hemp, you can use rami, you can use pigtails. And plant cloth is a very, not easy, but, well, actually I would say easy, quick way of making a variety of clothing for your dwarves. So we're going to quickly roll over plant cloth today and explain what you're going to do. So we did this little farming tutorial earlier in this series, which you can go watch if you would like. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make another farm plot. We're going to make a pigtail farm plot. Now, pigtails can be brewed into alcohol, but by default, I don't think that they're allowed to be brewed into alcohol, which I'll check in a second. But we're going to jump over to workshops. We're going to go to farming, and we're going to go to farm plot, and we're going to make a little farm plot here in the corner. Now, this is just going to be for pigtails. Pigtails only grow on several seasons of the year, and in the alternate seasons, we will be growing other things, or we could alternatively just leave it blank. We don't need to grow things there year round. And the dwarves are going to come running down here, and they're going to build this. Now, we already have some pigtail seeds, as you can see. There, pigtail seeds. Now, we already have some pigtail seeds, so we know that they're going to plant them as soon as they are available. They are available in the summer, so we're not going to have to worry about them right now. So pigtails in the fall and in the summer for this particular area. And so the thing that we're going to do up on the surface is we're going to make 2 more workshops. We are going to quickly make ourselves underneath the clothing and leather, we're going to make a loom, right? And we're going to make a farmer's workshop. Or we'll actually do them down here where we have a little bit more space. If we go to workshops and we go to clothing and leather, we're going to make a loom. And we are going to make a farmer's workshop underneath farming. Now, these 2 workshops are the 2 things that we're going to need to make plant cloth. Now, if we look around here, there's probably, see, there's rope reeds. That's another one, rope reed fabric. So if I say go over here and tell the dwarves to harvest some of this rope reed over here. And let's see, what else can we find here that I could use for this? Grapevines, larch, raspberry. More grapevines, raspberry bushes. We'll just tell them to get those as well while we're at it. They'll go grab those, and 2 dwarves are going to run over here and grab this stuff. And then the last workshop that we're going to need for this, assuming we want to do clothes, is we could use clothing. Now, if we planted a bunch of dimple cups, we could use those to dye our clothing, but we're just going to jump straight over here and make a clothing workshop. So now, as you can see, this is already happening here. So I'm just going to suspend this job real quick. What is happening is this dwarf has grabbed pigtail thread. By default, you will embark with some pigtail thread. There are several auto labors going on in Dwarf Fortress that we're going to find real quick, so I can explain to you sort of the default here. So if you go to labor, underneath the work orders screen, and you go to work details, and then you go, and by default you'll pop up onto work details, go to standing orders, automatically weave all thread. They're going to automatically take all thread from your fortress, and this includes spider silk from the caverns, spider silk from the surface and on biomes that have spiders on the surface, and any plant fabric that they find. You can disable this if you want and then manually assign it in the work in the work orders screen, or manually assign it in individual workshops if that is more your shtick. Otherwise, by default, they are set to automatically weave all thread. Now, when making clothing, you can tell them to use any cloth. You can specifically say only use dyed cloth, or you can say just, use any cloth. Automatically connect webs is obviously to run out and collect silk to make cloth out of spider webs, and then that we don't need to worry about the rest of these here because that's not relevant to this video. But keep in mind, once again, that is down here under orders, standing orders, and also hauling and dumping is important for other things, but we don't need to worry about that. Same with sieges and forbidding and all that jazz. But for here, standing orders automatically weave all thread. So they're already weaving the thread. That's the first thing that you need to know. Now, our next goal is to make some more thread. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to this farmer's workshop, and we're just going to check over here. It looks like they've already harvested the rope reed. Perfect. We're going to go over here to farmer's shop, and there's a lot of stuff that we can do here under farmer's shop, such as milking animals into milk barrels and then making cheese out of them if we wanted. But what we're going to do is we're going to process plants right here, and we're going to set this to repeat. Process plants. Someone should grab, there we go. See, we've got the rope reed that they're freshly harvested rope reed. Dwarf is going to run over here and they're going to make that rope reed into rope reed thread. Give it a second. Aha, see, now we have rope reed seeds, which we could plant on the surface if we wanted to do surface farming, and rope reed thread. And now over here, this dwarf's got 2 pieces of pigtail thread, which they are working on automatically, and I was kind of hoping they'd grab the rope reed one, but it doesn't matter too much. But they're eventually going to grab this rope reed thread from over here. They're going to bring it over to this loom. And then, now that we're making our cloth, we could go to cloth items in the clother shop. And let's just say we wanted to make a cloak. So we're going to make a brand new cloak for our dwarves. And look, they grab the pigtail cloth from this workshop right here, move it over to here, and then just like that, bang, we're going to have a piece of cloth clothing. Let's just say we wanted to make a sock. We could also make a sock. And that is basic plant farming and clothing industry. Of course, when the seasons are in, they will fill this little farm plot up with pigtail seeds, and they will grow pigtails as well. Keep in mind that those pigtails can also be brewed into alcohol, although I think by default they're not set. So we're going to go check that real quick. We're going to go over to this citizens menu. We're going to go to labor menu. Once again, right next to the standing orders menu, there's the kitchen menu. There is the drinks menu. Actually, no, we want to be in plants and stuff. So we don't currently have access to it. I should have checked this before, but by default, I'm like mostly certain that pigtails are not set to be brewed in this screen by default. That's the way it's been in the past. I don't know how it is in this version, but when there's pigtails, they will show up on this screen and it will say whether or not that they're set to be brewed. If you want to have ample access to pigtail fabric specifically, you might not want to brew those. That is a very brief rundown on how to make fabric and different types of cloth and how to set up a very basic clothing industry. If you found this video helpful, there's a whole ton of these tutorials on YouTube at this point, and the list is just getting longer. And if you enjoy watching these videos, give this channel a subscription and maybe jump over to the Twitch channel and say hi while I'm live on twitch.tv/BLINDIRL. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.